Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Yatha Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Sya Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gaurva Bhistam Supurakam Gurganara Sesha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda Nipunam Shri Rupa Patanugam Govindabhidam Ujjvalam Bharatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Bande Vishwaguruncha Divyad Bhagavat Prem Navi Bija Pradam Devam Divyatanam Suchandavananam Balarka Chelanchitam Sandrananda Puram Sadekavaranam Vairagya Vidyam Buddhim Sri Siddhantanidim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Vandetam Shubharam Madeka Sharanam Nyashishwara Shridaram Vanshakapatarubhyasya Kripasindubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahabhadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namah. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. This is Madhya-lila chapter 24, explanations of the Atmarama verse. This is Mahaprabhu explaining the Atmarama verse, 61 different ways to Sri Sanatan Goswami. Satsangan mukta dushango hatum nosahate buddha kirtyamanam yasho yashya sakrid akarnya vachanam. Oh, this is Madhya 24, text 98. Satsangan mukta dusango hatum notsahate buddha kirtyamanam yasho yasha sakrid akarnya vachanam. The intelligent who have understood the Supreme Lord in the association of pure devotees and have become free from bad materialistic association can never avoid hearing the glories of the Lord, even though they have heard them only once. This is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. All the members of the Kuru dynasty offered respect when Krishna was leaving Hastinapur after the battle of Kurukshetra. Krishna was going to his own kingdom, and all the members of the Kuru dynasty were overwhelmed by his departure. This verse was spoken in that connection by Sukadeva Goswami. A pure devotee becomes attached to Krishna by hearing the Lord's glories. The Lord's glories and the Lord himself are identical. One has to be qualified to understand this absolute truth. Therefore, one should be given a chance to associate with a pure devotee. Our Krishna conscious movement is meant for this purpose. We want to create pure devotees so that other people will benefit by their association. In this way, the number of pure devotees increases. Professional preachers cannot create pure devotees. There are many professional preachers of Srimad Bhagavatam who read this work to earn their livelihood. However, they cannot convert materialistic people to devotional service. Only a pure devotee can convert others to pure devotional service. It is therefore important for all the preachers in the Krishna conscious movement to first become pure devotees and follow the regulative principles. They should regularly chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra on their beads, follow the devotional process, rise early in the morning, attend Mangalarti, and recite Srimad Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita regularly. In this way, one can become purified and free from all material contamination. Sarvopadi vinir muktam tatparat vena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhaktir uchate. Bhakti, or devotional service, means engaging all one's senses in the service of the Lord master of all the senses. When the spirit soul renders service unto the Supreme, there are two side effects. One is freed from all material designations, and one's senses are purified simply by being employed in the service of the Lord. To make a show of devotional service will not help one. One must be a pure devotee, following the devotional process. Then one can convert others to devotional service. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu practiced devotional service and preached Apaniya Chari Bhakti Korila Prachar. If a preacher behaves properly in devotional service, he will be able to convert others. Otherwise, his preaching will have no effect. Dusanga Kohiye Koitava Atma Banchana Krishna Krishna Bhakti Vinu Anya Kamana. Cheating oneself and cheating others is called Kaitava. Associating with those who cheat in this way is called Dusanga, bad association. Those who desire things other than Krishna's service are also called Dusanga, bad association. Dharma projita kaitavotra paramo nirmat saranam satam vedyam vastavam atrabastu shivadam tapa trayum muldanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni krite kim va parer Ishvara sadyo red avarujate tra kritibi susru shubis tatshanat. Great scripture, Srimad Bhagavatam, compiled by Mahamuni Vyasadeva from 4 original verses, describes the most elevated and kind-hearted devotees and completely rejects the cheating ways of materially motivated religiosity. It propounds the highest principles of eternal religion, which can factually mitigate the threefold miseries of the living being and award the highest benediction of full prosperity and knowledge. Those willing to hear the message of this scripture in a submissive attitude of service can at once capture the Supreme Lord in their hearts. Therefore, there is no need for any scripture other than Srimad Bhagavatam. Prashabde Mokha Bansha Kaitava Pradhan Shloke Sridhar Swami Korayachana Bhyakyan. The prefix pra in the word projita specifically refers to those desiring liberation or oneness with the Supreme. Such a desire should be understood to be the foremost cheating propensity. The great commentator Sridhar Swami has explained this verse in that way. Sakama Bhakti Agya Jani Dayalu Bhagavan Svacharana Diyakori Ichara Pridan. Sakala Bhakti Agya Jani Dayalu Bhagavan Svacharana Diyakori Ichara Pridan. When merciful Lord Krishna understands that a foolish devotee desires material prosperity, he gratefully gives him the shelter of his lotus feet. In this way, the Lord covers the devotee's undesirable ambitions. Satyam disyati artitam artitoninam kaivarta doyat punar arhita yata swayam vidate bhajatam anichatam ichapidanam nijapara palavam. Whenever Krishna is requested to fulfill one's desire, he undoubtedly does so, but he does not award anything which after being enjoyed will cause one to petition him again and again to fulfill further desires. When one has other desires but engages in the Lord's service, Krishna forcibly gives one shelter at his lotus feet, where one will forget all other desires. Sadhu Sangha Krishna Kripa Bhaktir Swabhav Etina Sab Chadai Kore Krishna Bhav. Association with the devotee, the mercy of Krishna, and the nature of devotional service help one to give up all undesirable association and gradually attain elevation to the platform of love of Godhead. Age jata jata arta bhyakyana koriva Krishna Gunasvadere hetu janiba. In this way, I shall progressively explain all the words in the Atmarama verse. It should be understood that all these words are meant to enable one to taste the transcendental qualities of Krishna. Shloka bhyakya lagi e korelun abas, ebe kore shlokera mularta prakash. I've given all these explanations just to give some indication of the verse's meaning. Now let me explain the real meaning of the verse. Gyanamarge upasaka dvita prakar kevala brahmopasaka moka kankiyar. There are two kinds of worshippers on the path of philosophical speculation. One is called brahmopasaka, a worship of the impersonal Brahman, and the other is called moka kankhi, one who desires liberation. Kevala brahmopasaka teen bed hoy sadaka brahmamoy ar prapta brahmaloy. There are three types of people who worship the impersonal Brahman. The first is the beginner, the second is one whose thoughts are absorbed in Brahman, and the third is one who is actually merged in the impersonal Brahman. Bhakti bina kevala jnane mukte nahi hoy, bhakti sadhana kore jeb, prapta brahmaloy. One cannot attain liberation simply through philosophical speculation devoid of devotional service. However, if one renders devotional service, one is automatically on the Brahman platform. Bhaktir swabhava brahma hoite kore akarshan, divya deho diya korai krishnara bhajan. Characteristically, one in devotional service is attracted away from the impersonal Brahman platform. He is offered a transcendental body to engage in Lord Krishna's service. Bhakta deho paile hoy gunera smaran guna krishna haya kore nirmala bhajan. When one gets a devotee's spiritual body, one can render when one gets a devotee's spiritual body, he can remember the transcendental qualities of Krishna. Simply by being attracted to Krishna's transcendental qualities, one becomes a pure devotee engaged in his service. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given the following summary of verses 107 through 111. Transcendentalists on the path of philosophical speculation can be divided into two categories: the pure worshippers of impersonal Brahman and those who wish to merge into the existence of impersonal Brahman. When one is fully absorbed in the thought that one is not different from the Supreme Absolute Truth, one is said to be a worshipper of the impersonal Brahman. The impersonal worshippers of Brahman can again be divided into three categories: sadhakas, those who are nearing perfect execution of the process of Brahman realization; two, those who are fully absorbed in meditation on Brahman; and three, those who are on the Brahma Bhuta platform and have no relationship with material existence. Even though the worshipper of impersonal Brahman can be highly advanced, he cannot attain liberation without discharging devotional service. Anyone who has realized himself as spirit soul can engage in devotional service. This is the verdict of the Bhagavad Gita. Brahma Bhuta prashanatma na shochati na kangshati samasarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate param. One who is thus transcendentally situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed to every living being. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. To attain the platform of pure devotional service, one has to become spiritually pure and attain the Brahma Bhuta platform, which is beyond material anxiety and material determination. To attain the platform of pure devotional service, one has to become spiritually pure and attain the Brahma Bhuta platform, which is beyond material anxiety and material discrimination. When one approaches pure devotional service after realizing Brahman, one becomes attracted by pure devotional service. At that time, by rendering devotional service, one gets a spiritual body with purified senses. Sarvopati vinir muktam tatparat vena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti uchate. When one's senses are pure, one can render loving devotional service to Krishna. A pure devotee can only remember Krishna's transcendental qualities. Remembering them, he fully engages in the loving service of the Lord. Muktapi lilaya vigraham kritva bhagavantam bhajante. Even a liberated soul, merged in the impersonal Brahman effulgence, is attracted to the pastimes of Krishna. He thus installs a deity and renders the Lord's service. Highly elevated Mayavadi sannyasis sometimes worship the Radha Krishna deities and discuss the pastimes of the Lord, but their purpose is not elevation to Goloka Vrindavan. They want to merge into the Lord's effulgence. This statement is quoted from Shankaracharya's commentary on the Upanishad known as Nishringa Tapani. Even a liberated soul merged in the impersonal Brahman effulgence is attracted to the pastimes of Krishna. He thus installs a deity and renders the Lord's service. So that's a statement by Shankaracharya. Janma hoite shukan shanakare brahmamoy Krishna guna krishtahaya krishnare bhajai. Although Sukadeva Goswami and the four Kumaras were always absorbed in the thought of impersonal Brahman and were thus Brahmavadis, they were nonetheless attracted by the transcendental pastimes and qualities of Krishna. Therefore, they later became devotees of Krishna. Sanakadya Krishna Kripai Surabe Koreman Guna Krishna Hoya Kore Nirmala Bhajan. The minds of the four Kumaras were attracted by the aroma of the flowers offered to Krishna's lotus feet. Being thus attracted by the transcendental qualities of Krishna, they engaged in pure devotional service. Tashyaravinda nayanasya padaravinda kinjoka mishra dulasi makarandadvayu antargatam swa vivarena chakaratesh tesham shankobam akshara jusham apichita tanvo. When the breeze carrying the aroma of tulsi leaves and saffron from the lotus feet of the lotus-eyed personality of God had entered through the nostrils into the hearts of those sages, the Kumaras, they experienced a change in both body and mind, even though they were attached to the impersonal Brahman understanding. So both Sukadeva Goswami and the four Kumaras, their conception of life changed. At first, they had some understanding or even absorption in Brahman realization. But Sukadeva Goswami, hearing verses from the Srimad Bhagavatam, spoken by some woodsmen who were trained by Vedavyas, and also the four Kumaras smelled the tulsi and saffron on the lotus feet of the Lord when they were arguing with Jai and Vijay. In both cases, their conception of life, of Sukadeva Goswami and of the four Kumaras, their conception of life changed from impersonal understanding to being attracted to the service and divine presence, the transcendental body of the Lord. Vyasa kripai Sukadever liladi smaran Krishna guna Krishna hoya korana bhajan. By the mercy of Srila Vyasadeva, Sukadeva Goswami was attracted by the pastimes of Lord Krishna. Being thus attracted by Krishna's transcendental qualities, he also became a devotee and engaged in his service. Harer Guna Chipta Matir Harer Guna Kshipta Matir Bhagavan Bararayani Adyagan Mahad Akyanam Nityam Vishnu Janapriya. Being very much attracted by the transcendental pastimes of the Lord, the mind of Srila Sukadeva Goswami was agitated by Krishna consciousness. He therefore began to study Srimad Bhagavatam by the grace of his father. Nava Yogeshwara Janma Hoite Sadaka Jnani Bidi Shiva Narada Mukhe Krishna Guna Shuni. From their very birth, the 9 great mystic yogis, the Nava-yogendras, were impersonal philosophers of the absolute truth. But because they heard about Lord Krishna's qualities from Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and the great sage Narada, they also became Krishna's devotees. Guna Krishna Hoya Kore Krishnara Bhajan Ekadasha Skandetara Bhakti Vivaran. In the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there's a full description of the devotional service of the 9 yogendras, who rendered devotional service because they were attracted by the Lord's transcendental qualities. Aklesham Kamala Bhuva Pravishya Goshtim Kurvanta Shruti Shirasam Shrutim Shrutagya Utungam Yadupura Sangamaya Rangam Yogendra Pulaka Rito Navapi Avapu. The 9 yogendras entered the 9 yogendras entered Lord Brahma's association and heard from him the real meaning of the topmost Vedic literatures, the Upanishads. Although the yogendras were already conversant in Vedic knowledge, they became very jubilant in Krishna consciousness just by listening to Brahma. Thus they wanted to enter Dwarka, the abode of Lord Krishna. In this way they finally achieved the place known as Rangakshetra. Moka Kangshi Gyani Hoy Teen Prakar Mumukshu Jivan Mukta Prapta Swarupar. Those who wish to merge into the impersonal Brahman are also divided into 3 categories. Those desiring to be liberated, those already liberated, and those who have realized Brahman. Mumukku Jagate Aneka Samsari Jan Mukti Lagi Bhakti Kore Krishna Bhajan. There are many people within this material world who desire liberation, and for this purpose they render devotional service to Lord Krishna. Mumukshabo Gorarupan Hitva Bhuta Patimarta. Mumukshavo Gorarupan Hitva Bhuta Patinata Narayana Kala Shanta Bhajanti E Anashuyava. Those who want to be relieved from the material clutches give up the worship of the various demigods who have fearful bodily features. Such peaceful devotees who are not envious of the demigods worship the different forms of the Lord, the different forms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan. As a quotation from the Srimad Bhagavatam, those who actually want the highest perfection worship Lord Vishnu in his different incarnations. Those who are attracted by the materialistic way of life and who are always agitated and full of anxiety worship demigods who appear fierce. Demigods like Goddess Kali and Kali Bhairava, Rudra, that's Shiva. The devotees of Krishna, however, do not envy the demigods or their worshippers, but peacefully render devotional service to the incarnations of Narayan instead. Se sabera sadhu sange guna svurai Krishna bhajana korai mumukha chadai. If those who are attached to demigod worship fortunately associate with the devotees, their dormant devotional service and appreciation of the Lord's qualities gradually awakens. In this way, they also engage in Krishna's devotional service and give up the desire for liberation and the desire to render and the desire to merge into the existence of impersonal Brahman. So here we hear from the verse of Atmarama that many different kinds of persons are attracted to Krishna and they undoubtedly get some benefit. But their real benefit also comes if during the course of being or hearing about Krishna or being with Krishna, they get the association of other devotees, of pure devotees, then they will benefit, and their conception of life will change, as we've heard how the Kumaras, Sukadeva Goswami, the Nava Yogendras, their conception changed from impersonal conception to that of a devotional practicing life, and that was also through, principally, the association of pure devotees. Say saber sadhu sange guna svurai Krishna bhajana koraya mumuksha chadai. So I read that. If those who are attached to demigod worship fortunately associate with the devotees, their dormant devotional service and appreciation of the Lord's qualities gradually awaken. In this way, they also engage in Krishna's loving service and give up the desire for liberation and the desire to merge into the existence of impersonal Brahman. The four Kumaras, Chatushana, Sukadeva Goswami, and the 9 Yogendras were absorbed in Brahman realization, and how they became devotees is described herein. There are 3 kinds of impersonalists: the mumukshu, those desiring liberation; the jivan muktas, those liberated in this life; and the prapta swarupas, those merged in Brahman realization. All 3 types of jnanis are called moksha kankshis, those desiring liberation. By associating with devotees, such people give up the mumukshu principle and render devotional service. The real cause for this change is the association of devotees. The Krishna consciousness movement is meant to attract all types of men, even those who desire things other than the Lord's devotional service. Through the association of devotees, they gradually begin to render devotional service. Ahom mahatman bahudosha dushto api akena bhati esha bhavo gunena satsangamakena sukavahena kritajya no jena Krishna mumuksha. O great learned devotee, although there are many faults in this material world, there is one good opportunity: the association with devotees. Such association brings about great happiness. Due to this good quality, our strong desire to achieve liberation by merging into the Brahman effulgence has become awakened. O great learned devotee, although there are many faults in this material world, there is one good opportunity: the association with devotees. Such association brings about great happiness. Due to this good quality, our strong desire to achieve liberation by merging into the Brahman effulgence has become weakened. Narader sange sonakade munigan mumukha chadiya koila krishnera bhajan. By associating with the great sage by associating with the great Saint Narada, Shonaka and other great sages, gave up the desire for liberation and engaged in Krishna's devotional service. Krishnara darshane karo, Krishnara kripai, mumuksha chadiya gane, mumuksha chadiya gune bhaje tarapai. Krishnara darshane karo, Krishnara kripai, mumuksha chadiya gune bhaje tarapiya. Pardon me. Krishnara darshane karo, Krishnara kripai, mumuksha chadiya gune bhaje tarapai. Simply by meeting Krishna or receiving Krishna's special favor, one can give up the desire for liberation. Being attracted by the transcendental qualities of Krishna, one can engage in his service. Asmin sukha gana murto param atmani vishni patane surati atmaram mataya mevrita gatobata chiram kala. In this Dwarkadam, I am being attracted by the Supreme Personality of Krishna, who is personified spiritual bliss. Simply by seeing him, I feel great happiness. Oh, I have wasted so much time trying to become self-realized through impersonal cultivation. This is a cause for lamentation. Jivan mukta aneka se dui beta jani bhakti jivan mukta Jnane Jivan Mukta Mani. There are many people who are liberated even in this lifetime. Some are liberated by discharging devotional service, and others are liberated through the philosophical speculative process. Jnane Jivan Mukta. There are many people who are liberated even in this lifetime. Some are liberated by discharging devotional service, and others are liberated through the philosophical speculative process. Jnane Jivan Mukta. Bhaktya Jivan Mukta Guna Krishna Hoya Krishna Bhaje Sukha Jnane Jivan Mukta Aparare Adomaje. Those who are liberated by devotional service become more and more attracted by the transcendental qualities of Krishna. Thus they engage in his service. Those who are liberated by the speculative process eventually fall down again due to offensive activity. Yenye ravindaksha vimukta maninas tvayasta bhavad avishuddha buddhaya Aruya Kritrina Parambaram Tata Patandiado Nadrita Yushmadangrayao. O lotus-eyed one, those who think that they are liberated in this life but are without devotional service to you are of impure intelligence, although they accept severe austerities and penance, severe austerities and penances and rise to the spiritual position to impersonal Brahman realization, they fall down again because they neglect to worship your lotus feet. O lotus-eyed one, those who think they are liberated in this life but are without devotional service to you are of impure intelligence. Although they accept severe austerities and penances and rise to the spiritual position to impersonal Brahman realization, they fall down again because they neglect to worship your lotus feet. Brahma bhuta prashanatmana shochatina kankshati samasarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate param. One who is thus transcendently situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed to every living entity. In that state he attains pure devotional service unto me. So the Brahma-bhuta platform of realization is actually a platform from which devotional service can begin. That is not the conclusion. That's not the end to attain the Brahmabhuta stage or liberated stage, but that is rather a spiritual position from which the devotee can engage in devotional service by being on that platform of realization. Advaita Viti Patikar Upasya Svananda Simhasana Labda Diksha Shatena Kenapi Vayam Hatena Dashikrita Gopavadu Vitena. This is a verse by Bilva Mangal Thakur. Although I was worshipped by those on the path of monism and initiated into self-realization through the yoga system, I have nonetheless been forcibly turned into a maidservant by some cunning boy who was always joking with the gopis. Bhakti bole prapta swarup divya dehopai Krishna guna Krishna hoya bhaje Krishna pajai. Okay. Bhakti bole prapta swarup divya dehopai Krishna guna Krishna hana bhaje Krishna pai. One who has attained his constitutional position by the strength of devotional service attains a transcendental body even in this lifetime. Being attracted by Lord Krishna's transcendental qualities, he fully engages in service at his lotus feet. Niraldo Shanu Shayanam Atmana Saha Shakti Bi Muktir Hitvan Yatarupam Swarupena Vyavastiti. The living entities and other potencies merge into Mahavishnu as the Lord lies down and winds up, destroys the cosmic manifestation. Liberation means being situated in one's eternal original form after giving up the changeable gross and subtle bodies. Krishna Bahir Mukha Doshe Maya Hoite Bai. Krishna Mukha Bhakti Hoite Maya Mukta Hoy. By opposing Krishna consciousness, one becomes conditioned and fearful due to the influence of Maya. By executing devotional service faithfully, one is liberated from Maya. Bayam Dvitiya Binivesha Tadshad Ishara Pe Tasya Viparya Yosmriti Tanmaya Yato Buddha Abhajetam Bhaktyayika Yesham Gurudeva Tatma. When the living entity is attracted by the material energy, which is separate from Krishna, he is overpowered by fear. Because he is separated from the Supreme Personality of Godhead by the material energy, his conception of life is reversed. In other words, instead of being the eternal servant of Krishna, he becomes Krishna's competitor. This is called Viparya Smriti, which means a changing of, you can say a changing of conception. This is called Viparya Smriti, or wrong conception. To nullify this mistake, one who is actually learned and advanced worships the Supreme Personality of God as his spiritual master, worshipful deity, and source of life. He thus worships the Lord by the process of unalloyed devotional service. So you could almost say this is like cross-dressing, because the living entity is a servant of the Lord, and we will consider that that is prakriti, apara prakriti. And instead of that, one takes the position of trying to be the master. That means becoming the Purusha. So that is, you can almost say, something akin to cross-dressing. When the living entity is attracted by the material energy, which is separated from Krishna, he is overpowered by fear. Because he is separated from the Supreme Personality of God by the material energy, his conception of life is reversed. In other words, instead of being the eternal servant of Krishna, he becomes Krishna's competitor. This is called Viparya Smriti. To nullify this mistake, one who is actually learned and advanced worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead as his spiritual master, worshipful deity, and source of life. He thus worships the Lord by the process of unalloyed devotional service. Daiviyesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mam eva ye prapadyante mayamitam tarantite. This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Bhakti vinu mukti nahi bhakti mukti hoy. One does not attain liberation without rendering devotional service. Liberation is attained only by devotional service. Shreya Shritim Bhaktim Udashyate Vibho Klashyanti Je Kevala Bodha Labdaye Teshamaso Kleshala Eva Sishyate Nanyad Yata Stula Tushavagatinam. My dear Lord, devotional service unto you is the only auspicious path. If one gives it up simply for speculative knowledge or the understanding that these living beings are spirit souls and the material world is false, one undergoes a great deal of trouble. He only gains troublesome and inauspicious activities. His actions are like beating a husk that is already devoid of rice. His labor becomes fruitless. Yenye ravindaksha vimuktamaninas tvayasta bhavad avishuddha buddhaya aruya kritshrena parambaram tata patandyado nadrita yushmadangraya. So this verse is repeated several times in this chapter. Very nice verse that will mention those who are attracted to impersonal realization. O letter-side one, those who think they are liberated in this life but are without devotional service to you are of impure intelligence. Although they accept severe austerities and penances and rise to the spiritual position to impersonal Brahman realization, they fall down again because they neglect to worship your lotus feet. Ya esham purusham sakshad atma prabhavam ishvaram na bhajanti avajananti stanad brashta patantiyada. If one simply maintains an official position in the four varnas and ashramas, but does not worship the Supreme Lord Vishnu, he falls down from his puffed up position into a hellish condition. Bhakti Mukti Paileha Avasya Krishnare Bhajai. When one is actually liberated by executing devotional service, he always engages in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Mukta api lilaya vigraham kritva bhagavantam bhajante. Even a liberated soul merged in the impersonal Brahman effulgence is attracted to the pastimes of Krishna. He thus installs a deity and renders the Lord's service. So, again, repeating the quotation of Shankaracharya's commentary on the Nisringa Tapani Upanishad. Echai Atmarama Krishnare Bhajai Pritak Pritak Shakare Iha Apira Artakoi. These 6 kinds of Atmaramas engage in the loving service of Krishna. The varieties of service are indicated by adding cha, and they also bear the meaning of api, indeed. There are 6 kinds of Atmaramas: the neophyte student, sadhaka, one who is absorbed in Brahman realization, Brahmamoy, one who has already attained the Brahman position, Prapta Brahmaloy, one who desires to be liberated, Mumukshu, one who is liberated even in this life, Jivan Mukta, and one who is self-realized, Prapta Svarup. Atmaramascha api kore Krishne ahaituki bhakti muniya shante iti Krishna manane asakti. The 6 kinds of Atmaramas render devotional service to Krishna without ulterior motives. The words Munaya and Santa indicate those who are very much attached to meditating upon Krishna. Nigranta avidyahina keho vidihin jahanje juktase arteradin. The word Nirgranta means without ignorance and devoid of rules and regulations. Whichever meaning fits may be applied. Chashabde kore jari itare tarad arta ara ek arta kore parama sumarta Chashabde kore jari itare tara arta ara ek arta kohe parama samarta. The use of the word cha in different places produces different meanings. Over and above them, there is another meaning that is very important. Atmaramascha korebar chai, panchatmarama chai, chakare luptahoy. Although the words Atmarama cha would be repeated 6 times, simply by adding the word cha, 5 Atmaramas are deleted. Ek Atmarama Shabda, Abhashena Rohe, Ek Atmarama Shabdi Chai Jana Kohe. Therefore, there is no need to repeat the word Atmarama. One is sufficient, and that one word indicates 6 persons. Sarupanam Ekashesha Eva Vibhakto Uktartanam Rapyoga Ramascha Rama Itivat. So this is referring to Sanskrit grammar. Of words having the same form and case termination, the last one is the only one retained. For example, the word Rama is used to stand for Ramascha, etc. So you don't have to explain all the different kinds just by the word cha. It'll indicate all these different Atmaramas will be attracted to the Lord. Tabi jay chakara se samuchai koi Atmaramascha munayascha krishnare bhajai. By the aggregate use of the word cha, it is indicated that all the Atmaramas and saints serve and worship Krishna. Nigrantapiyar Nirgrantapira eapi sambhavane es Sata arta pratame korelun vyakyane api added to the word nirgranta is used for exposition. Thus I have tried to clarify 7 meanings of the Atmarama verse. So tomorrow I'll continue from this point with our reading of the explanation of the Atmarama verse given by Mahaprabhu. He's explaining 61 different manners, so naturally the explanation involves understanding all the different meanings of the words used in the verse and the philosophical points to show how actually everyone is attracted to the worship and service of Krishna.
Maybe it's too late. I was going to ask if you could say something about Varaha's appearance day.
Oh, today is Lord Varaha's appearance day? Okay.
It is a little late, so maybe... Anyway.
Okay. So that's according to our calendar, which is based on India, because actually 2 days ago we observed Ekadasi. So normally Varaha Dwadasi is in the calendar of India, it will follow. Dvadasi follows the Ekadasi. So when actually we just heard today while we were reading how different persons who were previously absorbed in the impersonal conception became attracted to Krishna and their conception changed. And one example mentioned was the 4 Kumaras. So the 4 Kumaras came to the gates of Vaikuntha, and externally they appeared as young children, as naked children. But actually they had retained that form, but they were self-realized great sages. But apparently they didn't desire to enter into the Brahma's recruitment for Prajapatis, for people to populate the worlds. So these 4 Kumaras came to Vaikuntha and they wanted to enter into Vaikuntha, but they were stopped by Jai and Vijay. So Jai and Vijay didn't want to let what appeared to be these children into Vaikuntha, and he stopped them. And the 4 Kumaras rightfully became very upset with Jai and Vijay. So they cursed Jai and Vijay. They said, "You are not showing a transcendental attitude which would be worthy of Vaikuntha, but rather you are maintaining a material conception based on inclusion, exclusion, according to whim, we could say." So they cursed Jai and Vijay to fall down to the material world. While all this commotion was going on, the Lord of Vaikuntha, he came to hear what was going on, what was the argument happening between the Kumaras and Jai and Vijay. And when he came there, he, at that time we see what is described in this verse, how different persons are attracted to the Lord. The Kumaras smelled the tulsi and saffron offered at the lotus feet of the Lord, and their absorption in personal realization became broken, and they actually became attracted to the Lord. But it's also explained, this is a pastime of the Lord, because the Lord, he had some desire to engage in some we can say fighting or mock fighting. So he, when he heard that Jai and Vijay were cursed by the sages to fall to the material world, he gave them the option of either 3 births as demons, as asuras in the material world, or 7 births in righteous families. So Jai and Vijay desired to come back quickly to the service of the Lord, and also maybe the understanding that the Lord wished to engage in some, fighting. So they took the position of asuras. And the first incarnation as Jai and Vijay was that of Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. So Hiranyaksha was a powerful demon, and he strode the material world in a very proud and aggressive manner. So the demons had somehow, the earth had become submerged in the what is it, the causal ocean, I guess, and to lift the earth from the what we might be considered a dirty place and submerged. Lord Varaha appeared. Lord Varaha appeared first from the nostril of Lord Brahma. He came out as a small being from the nostril of Brahma, but then he flew into the sky and he began expanding and expanding and expanding until he became the boar incarnation, or Varaha. He became a great boar, and naturally the boar is so all the sages were offering prayers to Lord Varaha, who appeared in this boar incarnation, and they chanted the glories of Lord Varaha. We could say as apparent boar, or so he dove into the waters of the ocean and went to the bottom and picked up the earth on his tusks. But when he was coming up, then Hiranyaksha challenged Varaha to fight, because he's an asura and he could understand there's some divine presence as Lord Varaha. So he challenged him to fight, and then and Hiranyaksha, he's fighting with Lord Varaha, and he goes to hit him, and he throws his powerful mace at him, and he says, now you are dead. But Lord Varaha just caught the mace and said, I think this belongs to you, and gave it back to him. And the fighting went on. And every time Hiranyaksha tried to attack Lord Varaha, he was unsuccessful. And finally, Lord Varaha killed Hiranyaksha. Maybe with his chakra, I'm not sure. But in any event, or maybe with his mace, I should know this, but I don't remember. Anyway, he killed him, and then all the demigods were very pleased. And Hiranyakashipu, who was the elder brother of Hiranyaksha, you would say by material calculation would seem Hiranyaksha was born first, so he should have been the older, but he isn't. It is said that the one who is born second, as like born at the same time by second, he's the oldest one. The newest one comes out first. So anyway, Hiranyakashipu then united all his relatives and glorified Lord Varaha and promised that he would avenge his death. And he said, I will honor and redeem make amends for the death of my brother Hiranyaksha, who was so fond of sucking blood. So he said, I will offer to him the blood of Lord Vishnu. Anyway, today is the appearance of the boar incarnation, Lord Varaha. Well, as I said, first came out of the nostril of Lord Brahma, and then it flew into the sky and assumed a gigantic form and fought with Hiranyaksha after Lord Varaha had taken the earth from the bottom of the ocean. So in Jayadev Goswami's Das Avatar, there is that description of Lord Varaha. Pralaya payobdi jale dritavan ashivedam vihita vahitra charitam akedam keshavadrita mina sharira jaya jagadisha hare jaya jagadisha hare jaya jagadisha hare Chiteriha vipulatare tishtati tava prishte Dharani dharana kina chakra garishte Eshabadrita korma sharira Jaya jagadisha hare Jaya jagadisha hare Jaya jagadisha hare Vasati dashana shikare dharani tabalagna Shashini kalanka kalibani magna Keshavadrita shukara rupa Jaya jagadisha hare Jaya jagadisha hare Jaya jagadisha hare Tavakara kamala bare natamadvuta shingam Dalita hiranyakashipu tanubringam Keshavadrita narahari rupa Jaya jagadisha hare Jaya jagadisha hare Jaya jagadisha hare Kalayashe Vikramane Bali Madbhuta Vamana Paranaka Nirajanita Jana Pavana Keshavadrita Vamana Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Kshatriya Rudira Maya Jagadapagata Papam Snapayasi Payasi Shamita Bhavatapam Keshavadrita Brigupati Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Dikyarasi Dikshurane Dikpatikam Maniyam Dashamukha Mole Balim Ramaniyam Keshavadrita Ramasharya Keshavadrita Ramasharira Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Vahashiva Pushi Vishare Vasanam Jaladabam Halahati Biti Militam Jamunabam Keshavadrita Haladara Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Nindasi Yagya Videraha Shruti Jatam Saraya Ridoya Darshita Pashugatam Keshavadrita Buddha Sharira Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Nolechani Vahanirane Kalayasi Karabalam Duma Ketum Iva Kimapi Karalam Nolechani Vahanirane Kalayasi Karabalam Duma Ketum Iva Kim Api Karalam Keshavadrita Kalki Sharira Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Sri Jaya Deva Kaviridam Uditam Udaram Shrinu Sukaram Shubhadam Babasaram Keshavadrita Dashavida Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. So now read the translation of the verse about Lord Varaha. Vasati Dashana Shikare Dharani Tavalagna Shashini Kalanka Kaleva Nimagna Keshavadrita Shukara Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, you have assumed the form of a boar. All glories to you, the earth which had become immersed in the Garbhodak ocean at the bottom of the universe sits fixed upon the tip of your tusk like a spot upon the moon. So then Lord Varaha saved the earth from being at the bottom of the Garbhodak ocean. Okay. So now I'll sing Hari Haraya and finish here. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jaravaya Nama Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jaravaya Nama Jaravaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Jaravaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinatha Maranaman Giridhari Gopinatha Maranaman Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Garadhara Shiva Sadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda Garadhara Shiva Sadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhattaraguna Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhattaraguna Shri Jiva Gopala Bhattadasa Raguna Shri Jiva Gopala Bhattadasa Raguna H.I. Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan H.I. Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan Jao ite vignana shamishta puran Jao ite vignana shamishta puran H.I. Gosai Jar Mui Taradas H.I. Gosai Jar Mui Taradas Tasabara Pada Renu Mora Panchagra Tasabar Pada Renu Mora Panchagra Kader Chanana Sevi Bhakta Sanivas Kader Chanana Sevi Bhakta Sanivas Janame Janame More Ambilas Janame Janame More Ambilas H.I. Gosai Jabe Branje Koilabas H.I. Gosai Jabe Branje Koilabas Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Manjayaman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Manjayaman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyas Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyas Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Narata Mudas Nam Sankirtana Kohe Narata Mudas Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Nidai Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Haribo, Nitya Gora Haribo, 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 Haribo. Jai Saparikara Shishi Guru Guranga Gandharvika Giridhari Juki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Jai. Srila Bhakti Rakshidhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai, Jai Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai, Jai Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai, Jai Srila Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai, Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Brahmasigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Jayom Vishnupad Vishvavaranya Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai, Jai Srila Bhakti Nirmal Acharya Maharaj ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopitan Shamakunda Radhakunda Kalindi Yamuna Ju ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki jai, Soquel Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Seva Ashram ki jai. All the assembled devotees ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.